Tonight, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers taking on Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Here's the rookie from Alabama, Will Reichard, ready to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. And he won't quite make it to the 25. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential. And he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
Love, they go play action now. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. First carry for Josh Jacobs. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Andrew Van Ginkel there on the stop.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Love now. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. So we see it right here in the opening drive. Throwing the football in these snowing conditions is going to be very, very tough. You wonder if they're going to rethink the aerial attack going forward.
It will be interesting, and it'll be a debate because most of the quarterbacks that we know, they believe they can throw through anything. They don't care if it's rain, snow, it doesn't matter as long as they get a chance to throw the football. And I think a lot of coaches think that in these conditions, let's throw it early before things get worse.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Here's Darnold. Open man is Jalen Naylor. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 27 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Darnold now to throw. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. Darnold. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Darnold to throw again. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Off of play action, Darnold. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Josh Oliver from 3 yards out. And the Vikings have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau.
This is where, as a tight end, you've got to really sell that this is a run. They're going to fake the give, hope the linebackers bite, and here they do just enough. That split second, that's all it takes for that tight end to leak out into the end zone. Touchdown.
Now the try here for the point after. Now these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Keyshawn Nixon now on the return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
First down, Love to pass. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
I ain't going to scan downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Second and 10. Off the play fake, Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. To throw now. Here's Love. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponent.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3rd down and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. And gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out.
Not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. Right side to Watson. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
First carry now for A.J. Dillon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Love. Into space at the 45 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Granted, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now 2nd and 5. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Love. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Darnold on 3rd down. Oh, and that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. That's taken on the 25. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down, going to the air with Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up second down.
Well, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Second down, Love. That's complete to Dobbs. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
In motion left, that's Reed. Well, they'll run it here. And he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, try to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling, right? The right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well, because so many things coming at you. You got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The throw over the middle, taken in. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10 as they've got it as we resume action. Now a first down carry by Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Here's 3rd and 3. To throw is Darnold. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Jones is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now it's Darnold. Flushed out right, and the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck.
The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing. Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Packers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it. Completed out left to Dobbs. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Second down and a yard. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll get it out to midfield. He'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. Going quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back, because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Love. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
First down, it's Darnold. Throw to the right, hauled in by Addison. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Here's a jet sweep. This is Addison. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And they give the Jones off tackle. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's Lucas Van Ness there to drop him behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Lucas Van Ness. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So just enough juice to get the 3, and I think that wind at the back helped a little bit there.
Certainly did, and to me that tells me that head coach knows his kicker and realized the wind was at his back. That's probably the outer limits of what he could make, and he knew the wind might be able to aid him and get that ball over the crossbar, and it did.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings moving away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early in the elements. You're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Now a second down throw for Love here. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Now a carry for Jacobs. And this will be a Packers first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Man, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. Forced out to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Look, there's no question in my mind that Jordan Love is a pass-first quarterback, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have the wheels to get out of dodge when necessary. So you will see Green Bay occasionally throw a quarterback run play in there, but for the most part, he'll do his damage with his legs when a play breaks down and he has to get out of the pocket and try and gain yardage.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here's Jacobs, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 32. 70 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Love from the gun. He'll get just a yard on the scramble in second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. From the 31, here's a 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Slant route, he's got Dobbs. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Back to throw. Love. He finds his man. Complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by McManus is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. He'll look to throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw here. That's over the middle. He finds Naylor. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Again, Darnold. Complete. Jefferson the target. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Now a 2nd and 2. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he'll get it down inside the 25. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Here's Nixon. This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Darnold now to throw. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 2. Darnold going underneath. He's got Hockenson. And Hockenson going to have the Vikings 1st down as the tackle made at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Throwing again is Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Here's Darnold. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his 1st catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. An inside give to Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Well, their opening in the 2nd half is better for him than the 1st half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Looking to throw. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison from 6 yards away. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let it just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running it with Jacobs. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 78 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That was a good run. Probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
3rd and 2. Love with it. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes, too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, those body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those hit fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Up the middle, Jones. Wyatt there for the stop.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. They'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And he is caught. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Back to throw, Darnold. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Completes this to Addison out left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The give is to Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Now Jones. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Aaron Jones, a 5-yard touchdown run as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Now, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Now for the point after. And the lead is now 24. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Love's throw brought in by Watson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Here we go. 60 reps.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Off the play fake, Love. That's taken in, Dontavian Wicks. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Love. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
I'm darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action this time with Love. He finds his big tight end. That's Kraft. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a first down.
101 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Love. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Tucker Kraft from 8 yards out. And the Packers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the
offensive coordinator might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Love throwing for it. Steps away to his left. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
I say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
Now Darnold. Caught by Jones. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Over the middle, complete. That's Reed. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Here's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have the Packers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Reed. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. Love now. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Love now to pass on first down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing. Love. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. As you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now out comes Minnesota. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On first down, it's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. Slant route, and he's got Addison. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On first down, Darnold. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. 10 more there and another first down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Running on first down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple. And it's 2nd down. Second down and 8. Now it's Darnold. Flushed out right. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock,
really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2nd down. Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? The throw by Love, taken in by Watson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Going back to Love. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Love. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Hook up of 15 yards there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Try to run for it with Jacobs.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. 111 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On second down, Jacobs. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. Third and goal. Looking to throw. Love. Fighting through pressure. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jordan Love taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Packers are able to cut into that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Touchdown. Here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. In motion right is Addison. And now a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Faking the give, Darnold. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Here's a jet sweep. This is Addison. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. They'll run again. Have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll go again to Jones. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This is Jones, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. A give to Jones. And he will have a Viking 1st down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, but he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and never an easy thing to do, no matter how good Green Bay is, what the year is, to come into Lambeau and get the victory, but they did it.
You're not just battling the team that you're...
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. And now we get to deal with a foot of snow in the parking lot as we say so long from Green Bay.
Love it here. This is Maui with snow.
That's one way to put it. So long, everybody.